this year. Now, what does it mean? It means that we would have about a $450 billion robust reauthorization of the Surface Transportation Act. What it would mean is that we would be able to get at some of the great infrastructure problems that we have, and I've got a whole list of the ones. We're just talking about the exits on 35 and down in Cincinnati. If you've ever been on the Brent Spence Bridge, you know, they're going to finish that, they say, in 15 years. That's the second most heavily traveled bridge, one of the most dangerous bridges, and we're talking about 15 years. So this legislation deals with what we call congestion areas. It talks about looking at the key areas. For example, up in Cuyahoga County, if you're a trucker and you come into town, you get off 71, you got to get on 490, get on 490, then you got to get on 77, then you get back on 90. I mean, this is ridiculous. We got it all over the country. So what I'm asking you to do is I'm asking you to. I was in Columbus yesterday, or last Friday. I was in Columbus talking to them about dramatizing the needs for infrastructure, highway infrastructure, transit improvement in your community, and then go out and lobby your congressman to get them to understand that if we're going to get this done, we're going to have to increase the gas tax. And I will say this to you, that I've worked since last March with Tom Donahue, Chamber of Commerce, worked with John Engler, National Association of Manufacturers, Bill Graves, the head of the truckers, ARCTA, all the groups, and they're all in here, probably 30 of them, who have said, we want this thing reauthorized now, and we're willing to step to the plate and to pay for it. And the problem around this place is that everybody's like, ooh, but this is paying for something. It's paying for something. And the thing that American people are concerned about today is that we are not paying for things. We're borrowing the money. And I've talked to even some of my conservative friends and I consider myself a conservative in the Republican conference, and they said, you know, George, this is different. This is a user tax. We know it's going to be what it's going to be used for, and by the way, they like the idea that we're going to pay for it. So that's infrastructure. Jobs. We know we need the jobs. You know that in the transportation industry, the unemployment's about 24%. That's what it is. And then it ricochets out to all of the allied industries. The transportation industry is about 8% of the economy of the United States of America. Think about that. And we need those jobs. And you know, the president's talking about another stimulus bill. This is the stimulus bill, and I talked to him about it. I said, if you want to get a real stimulus bill, reauthorize the Surface Transportation Act. And we're working on him to try and get him to come around to understand it. Ronald Reagan got it. He got it in 1982, 83. He came out for a 5-cent increase in the gas tax because he knew it was important, and he also knew it created jobs. And of course, the other thing about this that's really great is that it reduces our carbon footprint, okay? We're all worried about emissions. Well, one of the reasons why we have the emissions today is because of the fact that we got parking lots all over the United States. People's waiting in line to get on, just to get off the interstate onto an exit today, all over the state of Ohio. And so it's a wonderful way to, one of the things that Bill Graves tells me is that today they get 20% less mileage than they did a couple of years ago with their trucks. And it's driving up their costs. In other words, you get a truck out there for 10 hours and maybe you got, you know, X number of miles, now it's 20% less because of the fact that you run into things like Cleveland or the Ben Spence Bridge or whatever else you're running into around the United States. Great about it is that the contracts, I was with the head of the Ohio Department of Transportation, the contracts are coming in 15 to 20% below what they were a couple of years ago because everybody's hungry. And it kind of so that if you're going to spend the money, here's the best time. You're going to get the biggest bang and return on your buck. In fact, when I saw her, when did I see her? Saw her on Monday. And she was saying that they have this stimulus money that they got, you know, for highways. And she said the contracts are coming in so much lower than we expected. We're trying to find other projects that take the money that we're going to save and put it into them so we can get it spent before the deadline cuts off. So it's a great time to do that. And I was after Bush. I said, I'll tell you what's going to happen, Mr. President. We don't do tax reform. The marginal rates are going up, tax on dividends are going to go up, and cap gains are going to go up. And exactly where we're at, and we get nothing in return. And by the way, those the changes we make there, they are good. They contribute to our economy. They contribute to people saving. And so you got to put this thing together and look at it and say, here's something that's really helping the economy. And then maybe one of the things that I think should be hit is the mortgage tax reduction. Enormous amount of money being lost to the Treasury because we give people credit for the interest that they're paying on their mortgages. And people